Hey, lovers! Welcome to the Book Lovers Club, the podcast where we celebrate Black Sapphic love stories, one book at a time. I'm your host, Joy, a married lesbian, lifelong book lover, and relational communication scholar. Here, we don't just read the romance, we learn from it. I believe that love stories can do more than just entertain us. They can teach us how to love better, how to see ourselves more clearly, and how to create the love life of our dreams. Each week, I'll dive into sapphic stories written for us and by us, while weaving in personal insights and communication lessons you can take off the page. So grab your drink, get cozy, and let's turn the page together. Welcome to the club. Hey, book lovers! Welcome back to another episode of the Book Lovers Club. And it's almost spring. Okay, I am ready for spring to sprung. Okay, I'm so over the winter. Transition me up out of the snow. Bring me some flowers, some showers, all the things. I'm just really over the cold and over the snow. It's supposed to warm up soon. It'll be warmer this weekend. I am here for all of it. Winter has really gotten on my nerves this season, but the books that we read this month have really been keeping me warm and cozy. I hope y'all enjoyed our March book picks. If you are still working through the books, that is totally okay and that is fine. Pause the episode, exit stage left, and return once you've finished because this episode will include spoilers. Because I want to yap about these books and want to talk about them. And I can't promise you that if you haven't finished the book, that I won't say something that will be a spoiler for you. Now, if you're someone like me, I don't really care too much about spoilers. I'm still going to go read the book, especially if it's not a huge cliffhanger that got ruined or something like that. I'm still going to read the book, but this episode will include spoilers. So if that is something that bothers you, please pause for now and return later once you're done so you can hear my opinions. I also would love to hear from you. So please come and find me. Let me know. I have my Facebook group that you all can join for that. You can also come and find me on Fable. I'm collecting book besties like Pokemon cards. So I am always in the market for a new book friend who's looking for someone to talk about books. Well, with that said, today we're going to talk about our March book picks. Before I get started, just a few housekeeping things. So, I will be releasing my episode with D.O. Robinson next week. So, I've been mentioning that pretty much every episode that I have another author interview dropping at the end of the month. And then I will be releasing another author interview with Monique Good as a bonus episode. But I also interviewed best-selling author Jessica Cage. She is the author of the Accidents Happen series. So the books in that series are I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend, I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire, I Accidentally Hired a Shadow Walker, and the fourth book in that series is actually a Black Sapphic book, which is I Accidentally Locked Down a Witch. So Jessica joined me on my podcast to talk to me about the book that is coming out in May, on May 26th. So that episode will be releasing in April. I will also be doing a reread of the books in her series. So if you are someone like me who does not exclusively read Black Sapphic books, please join me in reading Jessica Cage's books starting in April as we count down to the release of her new book in May. Also, there are some Black Sapphic books that are going to be released soon that are coming up. So Shelley Page has a book that's a young adult Black Sapphic book called Charmed and Dangerous. And then you know my girl, L.M. Bennett, who was also a guest on my podcast. Her new book will be coming out in April, on April 4th, called Track 4 is Not About You. That book by Shelley Page, that comes out soon on March 24th. And then Jessica Cage's book comes out on May 26th. So the March book picks this month were Where There's Smoke by Aricka Alexander and Mine, Yours, and Ours by Karmen Lee. Overall, I really love these books. I really did. I am someone who will spin the block often on a book that I love. I saw this post and someone made a post about how they don't understand how people have time to reread books because they have a never ending TBR and they're always trying to just, make progress on their TBR. And while that may be true for me, if I really like a book that I read, I really enjoy reading it at least 2 to 3 times just to really sit with the story. Also, in my experience, I've read the same book multiple times at different times throughout my life. I had a completely different experience when I read the book. And there have been times where I loved the book when I first read it, but then didn't love it so much on the second read or the third read, or vice versa, where I wasn't really feeling it as much the first time around, but then loved it on the reread. So I just like to reread books. I'm always trying to make progress on my TBR. However, I don't let that govern my reading habit. Always chasing a new book, always chasing a new story, always chasing new releases. I like to read what I like to read, okay? And there are some books that I've read a lot. In fact, so Desiree Granger, y'all know The Mortal Affairs is one of my favorite books. I read that book in 2025 and it was my top book, my top read from 2025. She recently released the audiobook. I am not really an audiobook girly. I listen to audiobooks. However, I am someone that I really need to read the words on a page. So it's not my go to method of reading. But occasionally, I'll read an audiobook, especially if it's narrators that I enjoy. Y'all, I've already read The Mortal Affairs several times, plural, multiple times, okay? And then still listen to the audiobook when it got released. The way those narrators brought that book to life, baby. Okay, oh my God, a completely different experience. It made me find I need to find some other audiobooks like this. It really made me fall in love with the audiobook experience. Not every narrator is giving it like that. It was so good and so theatrical and so dramatized. It felt like I was listening to a stage play or something. It was just so good, y'all, and really brought the story to life. Low key, I think that if you are someone who likes to do immersive reading, I think I might actually do that again. I am going to reread it one more time, but I am going to do it as an immersive read. But y'all, that book gave me everything that I was seeking. It was so good, so good. So, I am someone that, like I said, if I really like a book, I am going to spin the block. So when the book clubbers voted to read these books, I was here for it because I enjoyed both of them when I read them the first time around. And Karmen Lee, actually, she just dropped that book. It just got released not that long ago. But I'm so thirsty. As soon as she released the book, I bought a copy and read it immediately. Okay. So, to be fair, I was thirsty and read it as soon as it came out. So I wasn't expecting the book club to vote to read it so soon because we read Peaches and Honey last month. Both of these books were rereads for me. However, I had a completely different experience rereading the books this time, but they're both still books that I really enjoyed and really loved. So let's get into it. Well, with Where There's Smoke, that book is so spicy. I didn't realize how spicy it was until I reread it and I was gobbling it up. I love how Angel, she'll take charge and switch it up on Phoenix and have her scrambling too. I just love their whole dynamic. But the only gripe that I have about the story is that I feel like the story moves so fast. I would have really liked to see the relationship develop more on the page. So it is very much like an instant love, but I wonder what y'all think. Do you think this was more of an instant love or a second chance romance? Technically, they met, had a meet cute, lost touch for a year because, Angel was working on that cruise boat. She ended up coming back to town and then they reconnected again. So to me, this giving second chance romance vibes. But it's also an instant love because when I tell you they hit the ground running, after they connected, and then the relationship just took off from there. We didn't really see them fall in love per se. Like they were already like in it. So I would have liked to see it develop just a little bit more, but the spice was right. I love just how sweet it was. A very sweet, straightforward story. And it didn't have a lot of drama, but I will say, when they went to the party, the barbecue, and Angel's, like, he wasn't really her ex. He was the friend of the brothers, Nate, that she had lost her virginity to and then got pregnant. I didn't like how he aired her business out like that at the party. And to say that you wanted to be with her and you had feelings, like, that was so unnecessary. It was so unnecessary. I also didn't really like how the situation was handled. I don't know. I get the intention with Phoenix whisking her away to her cabin so she can take a break from the situation. But I feel like he should have been confronted, like at least punched in the face. Like that was just handled so like, why you fleeing the scene like you did something wrong? I don't understand. And why we let him cause a scene like this at this barbecue without any type of repercussions. And then they still chose to invite that man to their wedding. In what fucking world? In what fucking world do you come to a barbecue, as soon as you get there, air my business out, tell everybody I got an abortion, and I still invite you to my wedding? That's delusional. That was the most delusional shit ever. I don't know, maybe it's the Capricorn in me. I'm very private. If you put my business on blast like that, I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive you. If you got me looking crazy in public like that and you like I will never forgive you. We could never be cool. You will never have access to me again. I hope y'all hear me, okay? Find something safe to do. I would never let you in my space again. And the fact that they let that man come to the wedding was insane. It's not like they were already friends for real. Like, this situation happened, you lost your virginity to him. Like, that situation actually confirmed for her that this isn't what she wants. She don't want to be pregnant. She don't want to have no babies. She don't want to be with no man like this. Like, it confirmed for her that this wasn't actually what I should have been doing. Let me exit stage left. However, for her business to get aired out at a party like that, in front of her brothers, in front of mixed company, that was wild. And for them to let that man go, I'm not someone that is pro-violence, but in books, I be here for the shit, okay? I be here for that's why I liked Karmen Lee's book. Her book came out the gate swinging. The way she opened that book, I was like, ooh, Carmen, talk your shit, girl, okay? I like the way you wrote that. So I may not condone violence in real life, but a little violence on the page, I really enjoy that shit, okay? So I don't know. Some of these books, they really got me questioning myself because I feel like, nah, he needed to get punched a little bit. He needed to get punched. One of my favorite tropes is touch her and die. I feel like something should have happened to him for that. In some of these books I read, people be getting killed for less. Okay? They be getting killed for less. Like, y'all really let this man come in this party, air her business out like this, and then Fee takes Angel away to a cabin for a week. Just say you needed an excuse for a vacation, babe. Just say you needed an excuse. You just wanted to get away. Because why she the one fleeing the scene? Angel should have been able to stay at that damn party. Eat them motherfucking cupcakes or whatever the fuck she made. I think it was cupcakes that she made for the party. Brownies, some shit. Think it was brownies, whatever. Whatever dessert that she made for this party, she should have been able to sit there and have the satisfaction of watching everybody eat these damn desserts that she stayed up late making. She was so proud of this shit, so excited for everybody to taste this dessert. And she didn't even get to experience it, didn't even get to enjoy the day and bask in everybody's company because here come his loose-lipped ass telling all my business after years have passed. Ain't nobody even been thinking about you, sir. And he got away and her brothers were there. Okay? Where's the protect black women? Where is it? Because I wanted to see it. He should have got punched in the fucking face. So I know I've gone on this rant for a really long time, but that really blew me. And invited him to the wedding. There's no way. in real life that would have happened and that man would have ended up invited to the wedding. Somebody should have got punched. He should have got punched. Her brother should have handled that. He shouldn't have got away with that, and she shouldn't have been the one to lead the party, but I'm glad that she went to the cabin and they went fishing and had lots of sex and just had a really good time in nature, even though Angel's like allergic to everything, which I can relate. I love to spend time in nature, even though I have a lot of allergies. Pop a couple allergy pills and I'm out here. So I can relate. Look, allergies not finna stop shit. I'm still finna be outside hugging trees, sitting and playing in some leaves. Anyway, also, another thing, why is everybody so damn tall in these books? Everybody's so damn tall. So I'm getting the curvy girl, the plus size rep with where there's smoke. But I don't know how I pictured Angel, and even one of my book clubbers, she said the same thing. One of my book besties, she was like, the way that Angel was described, I thought she was gonna be like a cute short thing, real sunshiny and short and fluffy. She was 5'7". I'm barely 5 feet. Where are the shorties in these books? Everybody be tall, like 5'7", 5'11", 6'2". Not everybody that is a lesbian is tall. I need some representation for the short and sweets. I need the mini-me's. I want to see myself in a book. Everybody tall as shit. Even the Karmen Lee book, they were tall. Damn, every book I read, I just reread Outdrawn with my book bestie. And hell, Noah was 6 feet tall in that book, and Sage was like 5'11". Like, why everybody so damn tall? Anyway, I need somebody to point me in the direction of a Black Sapphic book where one of the lead characters is short, fluffy, cutesy. I still like the little sunshiny, brightly colored, bubbly FMC, but everybody can't be model height. All right? Give me somebody short. Anyway, that was something that we noticed. Like, damn, every book, everybody tall. Everybody tall. And another thing that I liked about Where There's Smoke, that girlfriend proposal, that shit was so cute. Like, so cute. So many women just end up with girlfriends. Didn't nobody ask them. It was just like, well, what are we? You know, my wife did ask me to be her girlfriend. I've mentioned this in a previous episode, but we were in New Orleans celebrating Halloween. And we were on Bourbon Street getting us a hand grenade. And then she turned over and looked at me and was like, "Will you be my girlfriend?" And it was just so cute to be asked. And it was just this really nice scenic moment. And now I always have this memory about how we became a couple in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. And I can always tell this story. It was very cute. The fact that Fee, she went and got all of Angel's favorite things and organized this really sweet proposal to ask her to be her girlfriend. I just love seeing that on the page because, like she mentioned, they had been dating for a minute now and she never officially asked her to be her girlfriend. And she wanted it to be clear, like, that's what we are. And I just loved how transparent Phoenix was throughout the entire book about her feelings. Okay. And that proposal, oh my God, the proposal was so cute. Angel goes to the store. She sees the rings in the window and she's like, "Ooh, those are the perfect rings," just to find out that those are the rings that your boo got for you. It was just like so sweet. This book was just so sweet. It gave us a little hint of drama, but overall, it was just a really cute, sweet read. So then you had the opposite with the Karmen Lee book, which was just dark. But that book was messy. I ain't gonna hold you. I think that book was messy. What the hell did Dante Kincaid do to have family doing him like this? Okay? Murdered by his wife, and then his twin not only is fucking his wife, his pregnant wife, but now making plans to raise his kid. That was crazy. And Karmen Lee, girl, the way you opened this book, wait, she said killing a man wasn't as hard as I thought. Truthfully, him being my husband made it even easier. Girl, let me tell y'all, okay. Carmen, she usually writes very soft very cozy, small town romances. So to read a dark romance from her, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed this book. I loved it, okay? And even though Dominique was given messy. I love her character, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you, okay? She's definitely one of my book girlfriends now. In fact, I picture her if I were to cast this as a movie as Letitia Wright, the girl who played the Princess Shuri in Black Panther. That's my Dominique. That's who I would cast. Every time she was describing her with these sleek outfits and everything, I was like, yep, that's my Dominique. That's who I would cast. But Carmen, the way she opened this book, then she said, y'all, she killed me when she said this. Like, Carmen, I've already been a fan, but this book really, really made me see you differently because I really enjoy the darkness coming from you in this book, but you writing that Dante had talked so much game about his ability to please a woman, but the only real pleasure I'd experienced from him was the rush of euphoria when his chest had risen and fallen one last time. That was poetic as shit. Poetic as shit. And diabolical. Diabolical. Oh my God. Every time Dominique said deadly, oh, it gave me tingles. This Look, Mine, Yours, and Ours is so good to me. I gobbled that book the fuck up. And I enjoyed it even more on the reread. The ending, the plot twist with the daddy and the new secret baby mama and the secret heir and all the stuff but it be your own people. It be your own people to get murdered by your wife and then for your twin sister to be down here knocking down your pregnant wife and making plans to raise your kid is crazy. She didn't even give a fuck. When she found out that Melissa killed Dante, she was just like, you know what? I could understand why you killed him. That lets me know Dante wasn't shit. Dante was not shit. His closest people flipped on him like that. Dante wasn't shit. Okay, actually, he probably wasn't all that close with his wife. He didn't even realize that he was married to a lesbian. And I commend her for having to do that. I love reading like marriage of convenience or arranged marriage type of books. However, I could not do that in real life. Oh my God. She prefers women, only women, and having to stay married to a man because of familial obligations is crazy. And then for him to be like Dante is, I understand, but I feel like Dominique is so honest to a fault. Every 5 seconds, it felt like somebody was asking her, "So, you interested in Dante's wife?" And she don't even try to hide it. Yep, she exactly my type. I don't even know how my brother bagged a baddie like her. Like, damn, from the gate. She came out the gate talking about, "Yeah, I would take down my brother's wife." I mean, just conniving. I'm here for it. But that was messy. These books this month really gave me life, but yeah, I don't know how I would feel if I guess Dante not feeling nothing, right? He's 6 feet deep. So he not feeling nothing, you know? But I really do like that she was raising awareness around how Dominique had all of the right skills to have been chosen as the heir, to be the one to take over. She didn't want the responsibility, but she was the best choice, but she couldn't be the family's choice because she wasn't a man. And how that was also a part of the story arc about how just the women are treated in these family businesses and the daughters, and how she would have been the most likely choice. And Dante wasn't a good leader. He wasn't a good man, but because of his gender, he had everything bestowed upon him. He had the wife. So I wonder if Dominique this whole time she was harboring some resentment for her brother that, once he was gone and she knew he was dead, she set her plans in motion. But to find out that from the beginning, Melissa's daddy was scheming. Once she would deliver the heir, they was finna take her out. Craziness to me. Like, just how people's lives are so disposable in spaces like this. But I really enjoyed the books. We had the real light and sweet with Where There's Smoke and the real dark and sexy with Mine, Yours, and Ours. So I'm excited to see what we land on for April. I just am very grateful that y'all have been reading these books with me, and we've been having such a good experience. And if you have book recommendations, if there are things that you would like to put on my radar, look, there's so many books out here. I've been cataloging and keeping track of book releases and recommendations and things like that that I see on social media. And eventually, look, I am a one person show. I will have a space on my website where you all can go and look up the books that I've cataloged. Because it's really hard trying to hunt down all of the book recommendations. And it's always book lists that people are making to share about, books that are coming out or books that people should read. But I would like to be able to go somewhere and look things up. So I will be expanding my website. It takes time to do all of that. But I will let you all know once I have like a directory or a list of books that are on my website that you all can look at. But I am just really grateful for all the support per usual and for the good reads and the good conversations and the great connections and the community that I found in this space. So I want to send y'all so much love as we're entering this new season. Spring will literally be here in a matter of days. As we're entering this new season, I wish everybody some really prosperous new beginnings. Thank you for tuning in to the Book Lovers Club. If you love today's episode, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a chapter. And if you're feeling generous, leave a review because those reviews help other lovers find us. So if you want to keep this conversation going, please join me on Instagram or hop on over to Fable to join the virtual book club. And until next time, remember, the stories we read can help us write the love lives of our dreams. See you next Sapphic Saturday.